San Antonio Spurs fans, if this was to happen in June, would you consider it a perfect draft for our Spurs? What is up, San Antonio Spurs fans? Welcome to TSR Sports. Almost Friday. Came across this article from Athlon Sports talking about the 4 top draft prospects for our San Antonio Spurs, and I thought we have a legit good chance of getting 2 picks in this draft in the lottery. So which 2 would you prefer out of the 4? Which 2 would you say, you know what? Yes, that's a perfect draft. The Spurs nailed it. Let me know in the comments down below. Hit the thumbs up if you like support the channel. Hey, it's free. And subscribe to become part of the best Spurs community on YouTube. That's right, I said it because you guys are awesome. Anyway, let's get into the article from Athlon. Our San Antonio Spurs will have 2 second-round picks in the 2024 NBA Draft. And depending on how the ping pong balls fall, on Sunday night, Sunday afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern, and of course we'll be live for that. We gotta go live for that. They might have 2 in the first round. If the Toronto Raptors fall outside of the top 6, the Spurs will also get their pick in the draft. So hopefully number 7. According to ESPN NBA draft analyst Jonathan Giovanni, 4 prospects have separated themselves in the Spurs' eyes. Okay, who is it? Who is it? The 4 players that the Spurs should select, should any of them be available, are Rob Dillingham, Nikola Topic, Reed Sheppard, and Zaccharie Risacher. 4 players we've all talked about quite a bit on this channel the last few months. Dillingham, Topic, and Sheppard are all primary ball handlers who can space the floor, shoot a bit, defend at a high level, and get the ball in Victor Wembanyama's hands. Almost all of the rumors the Spurs are involved in include them swinging a trade for a lead guard. DeJounte Murray, Trae Young, Steph Curry, Chris Paul, D'Lo, everybody. That's everybody. All the point guards. You get a guard and you get a guard. Although Giovanni thinks they should solve that problem in the NBA draft. That's how I would prefer that we get players to draft, build, not buy. Risacher is projected to go first overall in some mock drafts and is a high-level wing who would take some of the offensive load away from Devin Vassell and Victor Wembanyama, though he would not solve their ball handling worries. That's true. We definitely have issues with ball handling. Oddly enough, we need those balls, though, to fall in the right place Sunday. A lot of ball talk in this video. Anyway, Dillingham seems to be a favorite to end up in the silver and black. He excelled in his lone season with the Kentucky Wildcats and is eager to join the Spurs and Wembanyama. Even if the Spurs land the top pick, it is expected that the Spurs would take Dillingham. So if we were to get number 1 overall, they're saying they still think we would take Rob. And I've seen some light rumors starting to go around about that. So let's now get into TSR's 2 cents on everything here. I know first and foremost, some Spurs fans don't want us to get the Toronto pick this year. They're saying, hey, let's wait till next year. And I get that. It's a better draft. Supposedly, things could change by draft time. That being said, I don't think Toronto's going to be as bad next season. They were just decimated with tons of games missed, whether it was injuries or other circumstances. But I think the starting lineup next year, if all things stay the same, of Quickly, Trent, Barrett, Barnes, and Pirtle, plus you got Dick off the bench, that should be a pretty okay team, a play-in team. I mean, the Hawks made the play-in in the East with a 36-46 record. So I think Toronto will improve enough to where they're probably going to be a play-in team. So I would just rather get that pick right now. Get it now, and I've said this before on the channel that of course, the best case scenario for Spurs fans, if you want the 2 picks right now, is 1st overall pick and 7th overall pick. Then we get whoever we want on the top, whether it's Zaccharie Risacher, Alexander Sarr, or Rob Dillingham, whoever it is, you got the pick, Spurs. Brian Wright, you have carte blanche to do whatever you want with the 1st overall pick. And if we did get the 1st and 7th pick, for me, look, I'd be fine with Risacher or Sarr at the number 1 pick overall, and then if we can nail Dillingham at the 7, okay, fine. Or whoever's available, whether it's Topic, I know Sheppard's been on the radar, whoever. Draft a point guard or a guard that could be developed in the point guard, even Stephon Castle, and get Risacher, which would give us a starting lineup. What would happen starting lineup if we get these 2 picks? Well, obviously, Wemby's starting at the 5. Sorry, Jeremy Sign haters, he's still going to start at the 4. I think Risacher would immediately go into the starting lineup. He's got so much more upside than Julian Champagnie. I like Julian. Showed improvement at the end of the season. But get your butt back on the bench. Get out of the starting lineup. Devin Vassell, and then Tre Jones would start the season. I can't see them starting a rookie point guard like Rob Dillingham. It's the toughest position to learn in the NBA. I don't think he's just going to get thrust out there right away unless he shows amazing chemistry with the team, kills it in the preseason, then the Spurs might have to start him. For the sake of this video, Tre Jones will start and then eventually pass the torch or the ball to Rob Dillingham. course, all this does not matter because all this depends on the lottery Sunday. It's fun to dream. It's fun to talk possible scenarios for our Spurs. I did just one mock draft a few days ago. I'm not going to do another one until I know where we pick, but it's fun to just kind of fantasize about what could possibly happen with this draft. I mean, we did that last year, didn't we? We started to kind of, think, hey, what if the Spurs get the number one overall pick? What if they get Wemby? And there was a lot of, I saw in the community a lot of excitement, even though the season was awful to watch with that 22-60 record. Sound familiar? A 16-game losing streak last year, and team just getting blown out left and right. There was excitement at the end of the season and then going into the lottery because there was a legit shot the Spurs could get the first overall pick. And they did. I'm having that same excitement now with the lottery a few days away. When do the Spurs pick? How many picks do they get? I'm just hoping to hear the Raptors name at 7. With the seventh overall pick goes to the Toronto Raptors. Well, I don't know. Would they say the Toronto Raptors if it was the 7th pick? Or would they say the San Antonio Spurs there? I don't think they could do that because that would really confuse people. I think they would say the Toronto Raptors and then immediately there'd be a graphic, the Spurs get the pick, or maybe they would say it goes to the Spurs after that. But I think they would announce the pick to the Raptors first. If the Raptors, of course, are 1 through 6, this all doesn't matter. But it's an exciting time. I know I say this every video, or almost every video, but I truly mean it. There's so much to look forward to. Wemby, Rookie of the Year. Wemby probably should have been Defensive Player of the Year. We're seeing what the Timberwolves can do without Rudy Gobert. They're a very, very good, maybe great what they're doing to Denver defensive team. Whereas our San Antonio Spurs, sorry, my guys, when Wemby's not on the court, they're a defensive albatross. He makes them, I believe, what, a top 10, maybe top 5 defensive team when he's on the court? It's highway robbery that Rudy Gobert won. Look, Gobert, one of the best defensive, probably the best defensive player in the NBA over the last decade. But come on, man. I think whatever. We all know as Spurs fans, it was all BS that go. I'm way off on a tangent here that Gobert won the defensive player there, but I only did a short on it. And statistically, Wemby kills him with blocks, kills him in steal. Not kills, but his stocks are much better than Gobert's. Defensive rating was very close. Rudy is on a much better team. Whatever. It is what it is. Rudy Gobert, enjoy your last defensive player there because Wemby's not going to have 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. I'm thinking at least 5 to set an NBA record, right? Isn't 4 the record right now? So I see him getting at least 5. That being said, let me circle back around as I'm way off on a tangent, but I love talking Spurs with you guys. You know that's what I do. I would be fine with this. If the Spurs are set on drafting, I got to pull this back up again just so I get all the names just right in front of me. If they are set on these 4 guys, Rob Dillingham, Nikola Topic, Reed Shepherd, and Zaccharie Risacher, if those are the 4 guys that they're like, hey, we want one of those guys, if they can take 2, then I think the obvious one out of that 4 is Zaccharie Risacher. We need floor spacing. We need shooting. He can shoot. He can play D. He's what, 6'10"-ish? That's the obvious one to put at small forward. At guard, I'd be okay with any of those 3. If I had to put them in order, and 2 of them are Kentucky guards, so my goodness, that's... Maybe I'll put them in the order that they're listed. Dillingham, Topic, Shepherd. I'm going to trust Brian Wright, but let's be honest, his draft history has been good, but not great. Wemby is, I mean, Baby Coyote would have drafted Victor Wembanyama. No, I mean, nobody was not drafting Wemby. Headband Grogu would have drafted Victor Wembanyama. Okay, everybody was going to draft Wemby last season. His other draft picks have certainly not been bad. Jeremy Sohan, well, except for one. Jeremy Sohan, jury's still out, but I think that's going to pan out. Devin Vassell, looks like he's going to, when he's on, he's absolutely on. Some of our later picks, like Blake Wesley and Malcolm Brandon, shown potential. Really, the only draft that was an absolute nightmare was the Primo and Joe Wieskamp draft. That's just was a waste of a draft. So for me personally, if we take away Wemby, I think his drafting has been average. So at least for me as a fan, I really hope he nails this draft and doesn't, for the love of Spurs Nation, when we come to the NBA draft in June and they announce our first round pick, it's not a name we don't recognize, or it's not a name that we all do our own little research and scouting. We expect, okay, let's say the Spurs end up drafting 3rd in the draft this year. That's their pick. And we see all the guys are expected to go, above the 3rd pick at 3 and then a few below. And then all of a sudden you hear a name and you're like, what? Or the name's vaguely familiar. You're like, wait, what, who? And you look and that player is projected to go 15th and we draft him at 3. That's pretty much the Joshua Primo situation. He was drafted, what, 12th overall, was projected to go somewhere in 25-ish. So that's always the worst case scenario for any sport that you watch, is when your team just reaches a lot on a player thinking that they're the guy, and then of course, Primo situation, it'd be a bust. Not because of talent, although I never really saw the talent personally. Sorry. Whatever. I'm on a total rambling tangent. I just love talking Spurs, and now I'm just yapping away. I hope you're having a great night. I hope we get 2 picks. I do. I'm all in on 2 picks, and if it's these two guys, I'm on board. Thank you all. As always, go Spurs, go.
Ready to Wembley.